Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value, exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important, because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages like creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people, and they're all more important than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were
being escorted by assistant coach Chris Mark, senior George Everett. Our next senior is one of our most fun-loving players. He is an extremely solid person, very loyal, and is shown to be one of our most selfless teammates. He's escorted by his mom and dad, Bill and Susie back, Alex back. Our next senior is a soft-spoken person, but anybody that sees him knows his smile can light up a room. He's one of the best shooters on our team and an extremely classy individual. Father Charles Glass and his mom Ramona Hersey, Chuck Glass. Our next senior is an extremely kind person and has a great head on his shoulders. He's a high academic student. He started every game this year as a senior. He's one of our captains, escorted by David and Renee Baxter, Taylor Baxter. Our last senior is a wonderful success story. He's one of the best rebounders in the history of school, and he is 3 points shy of 1,000 career points. the moment he came on Elmhurst College campus, he's been a workhorse. Escorted by his mom, Nancy Sanford, Nick Sanford. Let's give one more hand for these seniors.
number 12, Pat Rourke. 6'4" senior, number 24, Vince Kamick. 6'6" junior, number 32, Jack Burchett. And 6'6" senior, number 52, Landon Gamble. Cardinals are coached by Todd Reardon and entered today's game with a record of 13-11, 6-7 in the CCIW. And now the starting lineup for your Elmhurst College Blue Jays. 6'2" sophomore, number 15, Pat Coleman. 6'1" sophomore, number 20, Kyle Root. 6'5" senior, number 23, Tyler Baxter. 6'5" senior, number 25, Nick Sanford. And 6'7" sophomore, number 52, Will Nixon. The Blue Jays are coached by John May, assisted by Chris Mark, Scott Campbell, and Josh Roosbrook. Elmhurst enters the ladies contest with an overall record of 14-10, 6-7 in the CCIW. Our officials today, Jeff Lyle, Andy Boyle, and Dave King.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to RA Faginal Hall for this Elmhurst College men's basketball game. We just watched the women beat North Central. Now we're going to have the men play North Central. It's senior day for the Blue Jays. Let's quickly give you the starting lineups. First for North Central, number 4, Brandon Williams. Number 24, Vince Kamick. As the tip is controlled by Elmhurst. Number 32, Jack Burchett is a forward for North Central. Number 52, Landon Gamble is also a forward, and Pat Rourke, number 12, is a guard. Now for the Blue Jays, as we see the pass into Nick Sanford. Layup is up and no good. Rebounded by Burchett. For the Blue Jays, Pat Coleman, he's a guard. Kyle Weiss, sophomore guard. Taylor Baxter, one of the seniors, honored tonight. Nick Sanford, also a senior, who is 3 points away from 1,000 career points. And number 52, sophomore Will Nixon. As this is Rourke on the near side, trying to get it into Gamble. Gamble fighting with Nixon. Williams on the far side. Williams driving with the right hand. Puts it up and good. Brandon Williams, that's 2. Kyle Weiss, sophomore guard from Endenburg, Indiana, and the high school there. Well, as you see, Will Nixon on the free throw lines. Sanford now 1 point away from 1,000 as he sits on 999 career points with that easy 2 with the right hand. Pat Coleman guarding Brandon Williams. Gives it off to Kamick. Kamick over to Rourke. Burchett holding it just beyond the 3-point line. Looking to pass. Gives it to Gamble. Gamble trying to back down the other 52. It's the battle of 52s, and Gamble gets the better of this one. 4-2 North Central leads just a minute and a half into the game. In case you tuned in for the women's game, you can expect a little bit of a less frantic pace in this one, as North Central's men do not run the same system that North Central's women do. As that's Kyle Weiss with the jump stop, step back jumper. Ties it at 4-all with just 2 minutes into the ballgame. This game extremely important. It's both teams are tied at 6 and 7 in the conference, although neither team is in the discussion for the CCIW tournament, as Burchett gets the ball taken away by Sanford. Coleman will bring it up the floor. Like I said, important game, especially for the Blue Jays, because after going 2-12 last year in the conference, with a win, they would get back to 500, which would be a huge step for head coach John Baines in his first year at the helm of the Blue Jays. This is Taylor Baxter one of the seniors, a transfer. Nick Sanford dribbling with his right hand with 9 on the shot clock. Sanford looking for somebody open. It's Wiest. Wiest. Fadeaway is no good. Rebound to Gamble. Preseason coaches poll, Blue Jays were tabbed 7th, but they have already surpassed that. With a win, they'll be 5th. With a loss, they'll be 6th as Kemike drives with his right hand. Kemike back out to Burchett. Burchett, they'll let him shoot that shot if he wants it, but he's not going to take it. Drives with to the left, no good. Gamble with the offensive rebound and put back. Landon Gamble has 4 points early on. Here's Kyle Wiest. Kyle Wiest will spot up for 3. Bang, it's good. Kyle Wiest now has 5 on the game. This is Kemike on the top of the key. He's their three player. He can shift guard or forward. The shot is from Rourke, is no good. One thing that'll be especially different if you watch the women's game, North Central really will only rotate about 6 or 7, maybe 8 players as Will Nixon takes the pass by Coleman. Give him the assist. Nixon for 2. North Central really will only rotate maybe 6 to 8, maybe 9 if we're lucky to see 9 players. North Central loves their 2 post players, Burchett and Gamble, and they're going to feed them a lot. Here's Gamble. Spinning around, putting it up. A wild shot is no good to the right. Rebound to Baxter. Taylor Baxter, one of the seniors, as we mentioned, transfer, played last year and this year for the Blue Jays, as that is Burchett who grabbed Sanford going for the rebound. That'll be a foul and a Blue Jay basketball. And we have our first sighting of Kenny Payonk as we look at Taylor Baxter's shot, and then you can see Gamble grabbing the jersey and the right arm of Sanford, even though he got the rebound anyway with his left arm. Chuck Glass, the senior, will also check in for the Blue Jays, replacing Baxter. Kyle Wiest will look to Glass, but it's picked off by Kemike. Kemike running up the floor. He's bumped by Glass, and that'll be Glass's first foul. There you go. Here's the bump by Kemike after the inbounds pass was way off the mark, and Kemike was able to steal it. Interception. Brandon Williams passing out to Rourke. Here goes Gamble looking inside. Got it and 1. That's a foul on Sanford. Landon Gamble. That's 6 for Gamble, and he'll go to the line to add to it. Gamble with the spin move to his right side. Sanford could not recover, and that'll be his first foul. Gamble at the line, shooting 1. Free throw is up, and it is good. North Central ties the game at 9 early in the first half. North Central was a Final Four team last year. Lost a couple players, and you could just see how the depth of the CCIW really grinds the teeth of these teams, as North Central now battling just to be 5th in the conference after being a Final Four team a year ago, as Kyle Wiest with the hook shot, left-handed, jumping, couldn't quite get it, and then Gamble tips out the rebound to Williams. Kemike looking to push. He'll take a 3. It's just short, and the rebound goes to Pat Coleman, who will push the tempo. You can expect North Central won't want to push the tempo unless they get turnovers. They don't rotate a lot of people, want to keep their guys fresh for the most minutes they could play in this ballgame. This is Glass, one of the seniors, top of the key with Payonk. Payonk hands it off to Wiest. Wiest to Coleman on the far side, lays it up and in. Great baseline drive by Pat Coleman. Gets the 2 for the Blue Jays, and they lead 11-9. Great crowd on hand for this game on Senior Day for the Blue Jays. They were especially active during the game, the women's game, especially when the game got close, so we'll see if the crowd can get into it once again, as it'll be a bump foul. Kenny Payonk's first foul, as we'll watch it here on the replay. He just gonna try to force Rourke out of bounds, and the refs wouldn't have any of it. Landon Gamble will throw the deep pass to Brandon Williams, and they'll reset as he walks up the floor. Coach will give him a signal, and they'll run their offense. Kamike on the near side gives it off to Burchett. Burchett wasn't ready for the give-and-go pass. It went off his shoulder and bounced wildly in the air. Nathan Rogers, one of the freshmen, has it. This will be John Bain's first recruiting class. It includes sophomore Will Nixon and many freshmen. Most of the freshmen that haven't seen time except for Tucker Harlan and number 2, you'll see Nate Rogers. As Pat Coleman lofts up a 3, Kenny Payonk with the rebound. That's Coleman again, the second opportunity, and Pat Coleman has 2 more. That's 4 for him thus far in the contest. Brandon Williams, the point guard. Surveying the court, gives it up to Burchett at the top of the key. Burchett dribbling, looking for Gamble. They're just feeding Gamble right now, especially with the senior number 41, Alex DeBack, in the game. Hasn't seen a lot of minutes, does not average more than a point or a rebound per game. Here, as we look at the foul, as DeBack just kind of whacked the arms of Gamble on a shot, and Gamble will shoot 2. First free throw is good. There we have our first North Central sub of the game. As number 40, Kevin Hahn will come on for Jack Burchett. Landon Gamble for North Central. Final 4 team a year ago, now battling for 5th in the CCIW. Landon Gamble, it's good. Just speaks to the depth of the CCIW as Final 4 team from a year ago. No matter how much you lose, to end up at 5th in the conference is always disappointing, but this conference is just extremely deep, so good all around, and really and here's Glass. Little awkward fadeaway shot is no good. Gamble ends up with the rebound. And that just, to me, that's a testament to head coach John Baines to come back from 2-12 last year and have a chance to go to 500 in the conference this year. He's really done a fantastic job with the team, and he's rotating a lot of guys today, but I'm expecting they'll get the seniors in for the first half. Here's Kamike to pulling up from the elbow. It's no good. Pat Coleman will bring it back up the floor, pushing the tempo for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays coming off a couple of rough losses. They had a chance to get in the CCIW tournament, went on the road to Augustana and Milliken, and Kamike gets a steal. Kamike 2-on-1 with Williams, gives it off at the last second. Great pass by Kamike and Williams for 2. Like I was saying, they played in some really tough environments. They had a chance to get in the tournament. They had to play at Carthage, at Augie, and they lost both those games. They had to win 1 of 2. It's disappointing, but they have such a young team as Kamike is all over Charles Glass right now. Here comes a whole bunch of substitutions as the seniors, DeBack, Glass, and DeBack and Glass will go off the floor and make way for 2 other seniors, Sanford and Baxter. Timeout taken by the Blue Jays, so let's talk about that. The Blue Jays had a great chance to get into the CCIW tournament. They were on the outside looking in, but they still had the opportunity. They had to go on the road to Carthage and Augie, and they needed a split to stay in contention, but I talked to head coach John Baines yesterday, and he said that as this team is so young, that having that experience of losing when you really needed to win in tough environments, just the experience of playing in the tough environments, being there, is going to be great for their future heading forward. And it's an extremely important first experience for the freshmen and the sophomores on this team, because the core of this team, Kyle Wiest, sophomore, Brian Ackerman, Pat Coleman is a sophomore, and Will Nixon is a sophomore, so having all of that coming back will certainly be, in a whole another year of experience, will certainly be important, as we have a freshman, Nathan Rogers, running the point right now for the Blue Jays. Ackerman also in the game with Rogers, Sanford, and Baxter. Baxter pulls up for 2. It's short. Rebound, though, Ackerman with the hustle. Ackerman back out to Baxter, and then swing pass over to Rogers. 4 on the shot clock. Rogers will put it up. It's short. Rebound, Nixon trying to grab it on the floor, but couldn't do it, and the rebound goes to Tyler Sutton, who just checked in for North Central. Back to the action now as Brandon Williams running the point, running the offense for North Central. Gives it off to Gamble, who they've gone to early. And Gamble dragged his pivot foot. Elmhurst fans pleased with that as it's a turnover. Pat Rourke back in to replace Brandon Williams. We'll see who runs the point with Williams sitting on the bench. Nathan Rogers, a freshman from North Crawfordsville, Indiana. Running the point, gives it off to Ackerman, who gives it off to Stanford. Running their offense to the top of the key as of now with Nixon pulled out. Trying to post up Stanford on Mike. A little bit of a mismatch there as that's a 3-inch height advantage for Stanford. Stanford, Coach John Baines could not say enough about Stanford as he's really developed that jump shot. Couldn't see it there as he's short on an air ball, but he was really an undersized post player for most of his beginning 3 years here at Elmhurst, and now with the emergence of Will Nixon and a new offense that John Baines brings called the 4-out offense with 4 guards and really 4 outside players and 1 middle player. Nixon took over as the middle player, and Stanford was forced to adjust, developing a 15 to 70-foot jump shot, and he's done that very well. As this is Tyler Sutton for 3, he got it. Tyler Sutton breaks the tie. It is now a 3-point lead for North Central. Nathan Rogers hanging out at the top of the key, giving off to Baxter and Ackerman. Swing pass over to Stanford, who drives down the lane. Right-handed layup is no good. Rebound to Mike. Mike will give off to Rourke, and now Rourke will run the offense with Brandon Williams on the bench. Crowd trying to get involved with the chain of defense. Landon Gamble, faked the shot, didn't want to take it. Here's Pat Rourke. There's a foul on Stanford. He's a little shocked. Crittenden will check in as we look at the foul on Stanford. Looks like he just had a little too much hand checking, as we know that's been an integral part of college basketball this season. Pat Rourke dribbling behind the back. Looking around. Great feed into Gamble, who puts it up on Crittenden, which is a mismatch. Gamble gets his own offensive rebound, and the fall-away jumper is good. Great play by Landon Gamble to get his offensive rebound and then hit the shot under pressure. Eric Crittenden, who just checked in. Here comes Brian Ackerman and Taylor Baxter. Baxter dribbling to his right, looking to get scoring opportunity. Got the ball taken away. Battling for it was Hahn and Baxter, and it's going to be a foul on Baxter. That's the first on Taylor Baxter, 3rd team foul. Oh, excuse me, 6th team foul. As he lost the ball and then tried a little too hard to get it back. 6 team fouls already on the Blue Jays, just 11 minutes into the contest. Only 1 team foul for North Central. This is Burchett trying to back down Nixon. Can't do so. It's a 3 on the far end for Tyler Sutton. It's no good, and there's a foul on North Central. The undersized Hahn trying to go over Will Nixon, and Nixon would have none of it. There's the 3, and then we'll see the foul here as Nixon grabbed the rebound and Hahn tried to knock it out of his hands. He thought he got all ball, but apparently the refs thought he got some hand. Nathan Rogers. Here's Kyle Wiest. He's got 5 already. Baxter wants to take the 3, but won't. Crittenden hanging out at the top of the key. 16 on the shot clock for Rogers, who pulls up his dribble, looking for somebody open, gets Will Nixon, trying to back down. Burchett does. And it'll be a foul on the baseline. No shot. That'll be Burchett's 2nd. That's 2 on Burchett, and that's something to watch out for, as they do not have a lot of depth down low, and that'll bring Gamble back into the contest maybe a little earlier than they would have liked. And even the head coach Todd Raridan would have liked. Here's Taylor Baxter spinning into the lane, but he traveled. As we look at the replay of Baxter, he took one too many steps as he tried to spin into the lane and make the right-handed layup. Would have been quite a play had he have gotten that to fall and not traveled. What a good look from Gamble. Oh, and that's a hard foul by Nathan Rogers. Vince Kamek looked back at him like, dude, come on. Rogers was all over as we watched the replay. Rogers just jumped on his back and took him down to the floor. It's a tough foul on the hardwood for Vince Kamek and Nathan Rogers, and Kamek will shoot 2. Kamek hits the first. Brandon Williams and Pat Coleman will check back into the game, both starting point guards. Kamek will have his second. And it's good, and the North Central all of a sudden with a 7-point lead. Pat Coleman will dribble it up the floor. Gives it off to Baxter, driving left. Crittenton spins, trying to drive left. Baxter going to his right hand. Far side, that's Wiest. Wiest driving to the left, driving to the lane. Pulls up. Misses just wide, but that's Nixon with the offensive rebound and fouled. We'll see who this foul's on. It'll be Kevin Hahn, his second foul. As we look at Nixon, great job getting the offensive rebound over the shorter Williams and Kamek. Here comes Will Nixon. Will Nixon hits the first. He's one of John Bain's first recruiting classes, sophomore, out of Plainfield, Illinois, Plainfield South High School. Second free throw to come. And it's good. Will Nixon now has 4. He cuts the North Central lead to just 5. Defense, chance of defense, but that's a great cut by Kamek, and he's in there for 2. Kyle Wiest will bring it up the floor, this time in lieu of Pat Coleman. Taylor Baxter looking to drive, does no lane, so he gives it back off to Coleman. Looking in for side for Nixon, didn't have it. Crittenton with 13, driving right, pulls up, shot is short, but Nixon is right there for the putback. 2 straight offensive rebounds for Nixon, and he's turned him into 4 points. Brandon Williams. Kamek, that's a long 3. It's just short. Rebound. Oh, Williams and Gamble fought for it on the same team from North Central, but couldn't get it. And they went off to Wiest. Wiest trying to drive, decides to pull it back out. This is Pat Coleman on the far side, driving left. Looking to get into the lane. He got in and just missed, but he's fouled by Pat Rourke. That's his first and the team's 5th. As we look at Pat Coleman driving into the lane, just couldn't get the layup to fall. 6:22 to go. In this contest, Pat Coleman, sophomore out of North Chicago, Illinois. Brandon Williams will walk it up, something that we didn't see in the first game of the women's contest, where the Blue Jays kept themselves the women's Blue Jays kept themselves alive in the CCIW hunt. Feed to Gamble, give the assist to Kevin Hahn. Great feed to Landon Gamble, who's now got 8. Excuse me, he's got 13. There's Crittenton. Pulling up from the elbow, no good, and the rebound to Williams. Elmhurst struggling from the field thus far in the contest. Wiest is 2 of 5, Baxter's 0 of 2. As a team, they're shooting 35% to North Central's 53. As that's a great feed by Gamble. Hahn couldn't get it to fall, and then Nixon with the block on the follow. Williams will reset after the great block by Nixon. Gamble trying to post up. They look to him, but they're not going to feed it yet. Hahn down the baseline, bumped by Crittenden, but he got the layup to fall. Kevin Hahn. And now North Central leads by 7. Pass into Nixon, handoff to Wiest. Wiest has Crittenden, but will spin and fire a jump shot that's no good. Rebound to Hahn. Undersized, but got the rebound over Taylor Baxter. Once again, North Central will be content with just hanging out and walking it up the floor. This is Gamble backing down Nixon, but he took too many steps. That's a travel. Let's talk a little bit about the seniors. Nick Sanford. Coach Baines calls him the team MVP. He really had to change his game. He was originally an undersized post player, but he's changed his game and has been able to hit 15 to 70-foot jumpers, which has been so crucial to this offense this season for the Blue Jays. Taylor Baxter, he's a transfer, started at North Dakota State. Coach Baines has said that he thinks this is his best year of college basketball. As there's a foul as DeBack is back in, as is Payonk. Here, we'll get a replay of that as Pat Coleman tried to drive into the lane. Payonk and DeBack kind of fought for it together, and then they lost it, and it was a foul. Alex DeBack will have 2 free throws. First one is just long. Alex DeBack, a senior. Second year after transferring to Elmhurst. He's played in 28 games in his career here at Elmhurst. Right now he's manning Gamble down low, which is no easy task. Great look from Gamble to Hahn. Skips it back out to Williams, back out to Rourke, and they just can't find a shot as this Blue Jay defense is really stifling the North Central offense. Gamble with a tough fall-away layup. No good, and he fell to the ground. He fell to the hardwood, but it was Ackerman who ran out with it. Pat Coleman is jumping for the ball, but by the time he gets it, Williams is all over him. There's Kenny Payonk. Thought about the 3, but didn't take it. Brian Ackerman, Kyle Wiest. Now he'll take the 3, and it's just short. Rebound, Payonk couldn't get it over the smaller Williams. Williams will slow this pace back down. Got to think the keys to the victory, EC's got to take care of the ball. Besides obviously hitting shots, they've struggled thus far in the early going. We're now 17 minutes in with 3 minutes left in the first half. Kevin Hahn tried to get the rebound, but Alex DeBack was there. Pat Coleman with a crazy running, falling shot to his left, could not put it down, and now will try to sneak up for a steal, but Pat Rourke knows where he is. This is Hahn on the far side, pass to Mike. Brandon Williams. Rourke looking for Kamek, but can't find him. Brandon Williams pulls up for 3 is no good. Gamble with the rebound, but Wiest stole it, but it's a foul. It'll be Wiest first. 8th team foul on the Blue Jays as Sanford checks back in for Brian Ackerman. There's Williams' 3. You'll see Gamble get the rebound over everybody. Wiest tried to just get the ball out, but could not. I think the foul was actually called before he swiped at the ball when they both tried to go up. And here comes Landon Gamble, senior playing in his last college contest. Senior from Joliet, Illinois, averaging 15 points per game and over 50% shooting percentage in conference play. Gamble has one more. He's 61% from the stripe, and that one's true. Burchett checking back in for Gamble. Burchett, remember, has those 2 fouls, so we'll watch out for that. Here comes Pat Coleman bringing the ball back up for the Blue Jays, trailing by 9. Baxter looks to Sanford. Sanford looking to drive on the smaller Hahn, and that's an offensive foul. He was out of control. That is 3 on Nick Sanford, and that's going to hurt the Blue Jays. They need Sanford. And he's going to come out right now, probably for the remainder of the half, in lieu of Will Nixon. Brandon Williams gives it off. Here's Pat Rourke at the top of the key, driving with his right hand, lays it up, no good. Rebound is to Payonk. Kyle Weiss will try to push the tempo as the Blue Jays run up the floor. Weiss dribbling to his right. Now Baxter to his right. Coleman dribbling with his left hand, looks to get into Nixon, and the North Central held him before Nixon could get free. That's 3 on Burchett, and all of a sudden we've got some major foul trouble for both teams down on the post. Both teams power forwards now have 3 fouls. Actually, it looks like it was a mistake. I believe Sanford only has 2 fouls, but either way, you want him to sit. You don't want to pick up that third in the last minute 54 of the half. Will Nixon will shoot 1 and 1. First one is just off the mark. Gamble down there for the rebound. That's Gamble's 4th. Gamble, not in his usual position, but outside the 3-point line, so he gives it up. This is Tyler Sutton on the far side. Gives it into Gamble right where he wants to be. Spins to the right and knocks it in with the right hand. What a great move by Landon Gamble. 17 points in the first half. 17 in North Central's 30. He is just dominating the low post. Here's Kyle Weiss. Jacking up a 3. It's no good. Payonk with a rebound over Hahn. Puts it up and it's good. Kenny Payonk. What a great play. Get the offensive rebound and put it right back up for the Blue Jays. As we reach 1 minute to go in the game, North Central leads by 9 with the ball. Gamble once again. He's got 17. Great pass to Kamike down low. Kamike hesitates and puts it up, and it's in for 2. Vince Kamike. He's got 6. Taylor Baxter driving to his right hand. Puts it up. It's blocked by Gamble, but then goes right to Will Nixon, who puts it up for 2. Baxter looked for a foul, but the ball went right to Nixon, so it's no big deal. 2 points nonetheless, and the Blue Jays still down by 9, and North Central can hold for the last shot. I assume they'll try to get it into Gamble at some point on the block, as Payonk has had all sorts of trouble, and just the Blue Jays in general have all sorts of problems trying to guard him. John Baines calling for some press defense. They want to force North Central into something they don't want to do. With 5. This is Hahn with 3. Here's Gamble away from the basket with 1. Hahn will not be able to get a shot off. What great defense from the Blue Jays, as North Central just waited a little too long to get the offense rolling, and they will get no shot off at the end of the half. So that's the end of the half. Ladies and gentlemen, the score 32-23 North Central. Let's go through some stats. Landon Gamble, 17. Just absolutely dominating the low post. 6 of 10 and 5 of 5 from the free throw stripe. Vince Kamike is added 6. On the other side, Pat Coleman has 6. Will Nixon has 8. And also he has 3 rebounds. Kenny Payonk, 2 points, 4 rebounds. The Blue Jays really struggling from the field, shooting only 33% to North Central's 46. North Central perfect from the free throw stripe. So we'll take a break. Halftime here at R.A. Fagnall Hall. We'll be back with the second half of action shortly. This is Elmhurst College men's basketball on BlueJayTV.com.
College only happens once. You need to know what you're getting into. That's why we made this video. We wanted to give you an idea of what you might choose to get into at Elmhurst College. We went around the campus with a camera for a full school year and asked people what they thought about the place. We didn't plant anybody and we didn't script anything. We just asked questions. We started at new student orientation.
I chose Elmhurst because the campus is really nice, first off. I like it a lot, and it's really close to Chicago. I like Chicago.
The reason why I chose to come here is the smart classes and the atmosphere. The people here are friendly, and I just love it.
Nicest campus I've seen anywhere. Like, I visited a lot of other schools, but, I mean, this one just had, like, all the trees. They had the atmosphere.
All the people I've met have been really, really friendly.
It's a beautiful campus.
It's a beautiful campus. Lots of plants, lots of friendly people. And they're just so helpful. Like, everyone wants to help you out to get to where you need to be.
Come on in, everybody. It's good to have you here.
It's just going to be a fun year all together, meet lots of people, hang out, go downtown a lot.
Now it's time to kick off the school year. That means going to class. You've been doing that for years already, but classes at Elmhurst are a little different.
If you've never experienced something, you can definitely get into it and experience it here at Elmhurst.
It's an open environment. Anywhere you go, you're going to get that opportunity just to better yourself. When you're in the large universities, you don't get that opportunity because you're just another student and they're just talking in front of you.
The class size is smaller, so you're not in a class of about like 600 people.
I know all of my professors by name, and what's better is they know me by name.
You can go to them and feel comfortable dropping them an email, stopping by their office during office hours and asking for help.
Every morning I wake up and I'm excited to see my students again. I love hearing them and their stories and getting to know them.
The opportunity to interact with faculty in a real meaningful way, whether it's in collaborative research, whether it's one-on-one, talking about aspects of the class in their offices, the availability, all those things are there.
Learning doesn't only take place in the classroom, but outside the classroom.
The lecturing style has sort of gone out of fashion. You do present some material, but you try for the students to discover the answers rather than providing them to the student.
It's a process, and we create that process every time, every class.
In business, they're not looking for people that have more accounting or more marketing. They're looking with people with what we consider the liberal learning skills.
You're going to be able to combine professional interests with a liberal arts education.
Elmhurst College is preparing me for my life experience later on after college, and it's a great environment to grow.
Elmhurst College gave me a chance to kind of sit back and evaluate the world at large, and then begin to say, okay, I could kind of see myself doing this.
Of course, all work and no play is no way to go through college. That's why we have special weekends like homecoming. Football is one of 18 varsity sports at Elmhurst. It's not the Big Ten. In a lot of ways, it's better.
But what separated Elmhurst College from every other institution that was looking to recruit me as a football player is Elmhurst College was more interested in me being a student athlete.
Knowing that I would be running cross country and track all 4 years, I think it's really helped me structure my educational career as well.
Being a student athlete takes up a lot of time, but it's a commitment that you really want to make.
What commitment do you want to make? You'll have your choice at Elmhurst.
There's over 100 different clubs and organizations on campus.
Elmhurst has something for everyone, there really is. I mean, whatever your interest is, it's here.
I've been involved in the music department, in the band, and now the orchestra. Intramural sports, or art, or music, or drama.
They have the Greek system here, and I really wanted to get involved.
Joining a fraternity, playing on the men's soccer team for 4 years.
You have so many opportunities to get your hands on things. You know, I was involved in union board and volleyball.
There's just a huge array that you can choose from.
You can definitely make a difference, definitely.
You can also make a difference far beyond the campus. Our study abroad program gives you a chance to experience the world. Elmhurst students study in 44 countries.
The first January I was here, I studied in France, and the second January I studied in India.
Back home, you'll enjoy all the advantages of going to college in Elmhurst, Illinois, a special suburb of a great city.
Downtown Elmhurst is walking distance, and there's so many things going on. We have movie theaters, restaurants, there's shopping.
The train station's right within walking distance, and you can always go to downtown Chicago.
About half-hour metro ride away. And so a lot of my friends will go downtown every few weekends and see what's down there. There's a lot of class trips that go downtown.
I like to go into the city and enjoy spending time there. It's something totally new and different for me.
One reason you're going to college is to prepare for a life of professional achievement. We'll help you to get the hands-on experience you need to really know your stuff.
If you're looking for a job or you're looking for an internship, they have so many connections to help you.
They want to help you junior and senior year to be able to get those internships and get those job opportunities.
It gives you an automatic network of people.
I work for WGN. I am a sports news intern.
I'm currently interning at Victory Records, which is downtown Chicago.
I'm a sales planning intern with the Kellogg Company.
I'm interning at Paramount Public Relations.
I'm currently interning with the Chicago Bears.
There's a lot of teamwork involved in my internship, so you really learn how to work with other people.
It's very hands-on.
Just being able to work with their players, like the guys you see on TV on Sunday, and just kind of finding out that they're just regular guys like everyone else. It's really been cool.
You're in a small school and then you have this opportunity in a big city, and I've met artists, been to concerts, and it's awesome.
Our job is to help students learn how to navigate and manage their own career when they graduate.
So that's Elmhurst College in about 7 minutes. We'll leave you with a few final thoughts from our students and faculty.
Those people who decide to come here simply say that there was a feeling about the campus. They said there's just something, they sense something more, like hey, I belong here.
Coming in here and making the connections with the people that I have, I know that even when I graduate, I'm still going to have these connections. I'm still going to have a home here even, 5, 10, 20 years down the road.
I'm sure there's other good schools out there too, but I think you'd have a hard time beating Elmhurst.
Your experience is going to really be what college ought to be.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important, because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people, and they're all more important
than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Values really help shape identity. If you really don't understand your values, you're not really understanding a part of who you are.
I was more sheltered until I came here, and Elmhurst has really kind of made me step out of my comfort zone and learn more about what I want to do and what I believe in.
Places like the chaplain's office and the Niebuhr Center for Faith and Action give me safe places where I can go to discuss my faith and to discuss my values with people that I know, I trust, and people that I know I can count on to influence me and to lead me in the right direction.
You can never be forced out of your faith or forced into a different kind of faith as long as you're at Elmhurst, that you really are given the ability to take your pick and always have encouragement from your peers, never shunned or excluded or pressured into something else. There's always a place for you.
If you believe you're here on this earth for a reason, that's going to affect the way you live your life. That's going to affect the way you treat your academics, the way you treat your social life, the way you look at your future and the goals that you have. Those things seem like really big things, but all of that boils down to the way you live your everyday life.
We value
intellectual excellence,
community,
social responsibility,
stewardship,
faith, meaning, and values.
Hello and welcome back to RA Faginal Hall on the campus of Elmhurst College for the second half of Blue Jay men's basketball. My name is Luke Tanaka. I'm glad to bring you all the action. Let's recap a few first half stats. Landon Gamble, the dominant player of the game. 6 of 10 from the field, 5 of 5 for the line, and 17 points, playing 19 of the 20 minutes. As for the Blue Jays, scoring's been kind of spread out. Kyle Weiss has struggled from the field, shooting only 2 of 8. Will Nixon, the leading scorer for the Blue Jays, with 8, and Pat Coleman has 6. Elmhurst trailing North Central 32-23. Winner goes to 7-7 in conference and finishes 5th, just outside of the CCIW tournament race. Vince Kamek will get us going as he passes it off to Brandon Williams. Williams, the point guard for North Central. A senior from Sauk Village, Illinois. That's Pat Rourke on in the far corner. They'll swing it around to Kamike. Kamike in the corner, looking around, gets it down to Gamble. That's what they've been feeding it all day, and that's what they should keep going. Gamble now has 19. Pat Coleman and the Blue Jays trying to get something going, down 11. Only scored 23 points in the first half. Not normal for the Blue Jays as Kyle Weiss continues to struggle from the field. There's the senior Taylor Baxter. Pass off to Stanford. Looking around. Gives it back to Baxter. Back to Coleman, and we'll reset. Kyle Weiss on the near side. Coleman at the top of the key. Far elbow for Stanford. Handoff. Nixon to Stanford. Elmhurst passing it around, not finding a shot, and the foul ball is deflected off Vince Kamike. Kamike with Williams. Williams lays it up, no good. Rebound to Nixon and Pat Coleman. Maybe they'll try to push it, and they will. They don't have the numbers, and Kyle Wiest will hand off to Baxter. 3 from the corner is good. Taylor Baxter for 3. And that puts Elmhurst back within single digits, down 8. That's Pat Rourke, Pat Coleman. The Pats battling on the far side. Here comes Brandon Williams, dribbling back towards the middle. Pat Rourke, Coleman, we got a hand on it, double teamed. Gamble, Kelman tried to get in front of him, did, and then Gamble lost it. That's a costly turnover for North Central. Nick Sanford as they try to push. Sanford from 15 feet. No good, just long. Rebound is off of Will Nixon and out of bounds to the Cardinals. And Elmhurst is going to press. Talked to head coach John Baines yesterday, and he said they're not a press team, but they wouldn't be surprised if they implemented some of it today, as North Central will just try to walk the ball up the floor. They're trying to force some turnovers, and Benelli got to get back on defense. It's a 3-on-2. Gamble got Sanford in the air, Nixon in the air, and one. The pump fake sent Will Nixon flying, and Gamble just nudged him and put in the 2. We're going to check out that replay. Great pump fake by Gamble. He now has 21. He is just dominating this game right now. Gamble just misses Kamike with the rebound. Kamike looking for Burchett. Couldn't get it to him because it's at his feet, but Burchett got down on his knee, got back up. That's a travel. Kyle Wiest really struggling from the field thus far today. 2 of 9 from the field. He's the Blue Jays' leading scorer. Needs to get going right now if they want to get a comeback. Here he goes up to his left hand. Got trapped. Swung it back out to Coleman. They're on the far side. Entry pass to Nixon against Gamble. Nixon with the right-handed lay-in. Great little hook shot and move from Nixon over Gamble. Maybe Elmhurst can exploit North Central's lack of depth and get the tire down low, but there's Gamble. He got the ball stripped by Nixon, but Burchett was right there to clean up the mess. Back behind the back pass from Burchett to Gamble, but he could not finish. And then Kyle Wiest, it looks like, is going to be called for the foul. That would be his second. Yep, it's his second. Here's the replay. Gamble missed just long after Burchett's behind the back pass, and then Wiest and Kamike were kind of fighting for the rebound, and it ended up being a Wiest foul, as now Elmhurst will call a timeout, down 8, 36-28. Once again, it's senior day here at Elmhurst. Joe Jerkovic, Alex DeBeck, Charles Glass, Taylor Baxter, and Nick Sanford, the 5 seniors honored by head coach John Baines earlier this afternoon. Sanford and Baxter, regular starters. DeBeck has seen some time challenging Gamble down low, but Gamble hasn't had much of a challenge at all. Will Nixon has leading scorer for the Blue Jays with 10. He's 4 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. What's really impressive about Gamble's 21%, 5 of 6 from the stripe, and then 8 of 13 from the field. 62%. He's shooting over 50% in conference play, but that's just outstanding. He hasn't had much problem at all. We'll be looking to see if Elmhurst can get this back to a close game situation, as Elmhurst has been fantastic in close games. They're 7-2 in games decided by 5 points or less, 12-4 in games decided by 10 points or less. And their 8-win improvement from last year could very well be a product of winning those close games, and that's what head coach John Baines thinks. He thinks they're still a little ways, but the experience they've gained this year has been so critical, as that's Kamike getting double-teamed by Coleman and Wiest. Pat Rourke will reset at the top, give it back down to Gamble. That's where they've been going all day. They go back to him, but Elmhurst triple teams. They get a turnover. Elmhurst outrunning. 4-on-2. Ends up being 3-on-3, and Baxter will chip it out to Wiest, who will take a three. That's no good from Kyle Wiest, but he runs in to get the rebound, and that's going to be a foul on Wiest as he basically jumped on the back of Brandon Williams. That's 3 on Wiest, and got to watch out for the foul trouble now as Sanford and Wiest are starting to get up there. Sanford's got 2, Wiest has 3. Pass down to Gamble, and the shot is no good, but there's a foul, and I think that's going to be on Will Nixon. It is indeed on Nixon. It is his second foul as we look at the replay. Nixon swiping at the hands of Gamble while he's trying to go up. There's Gamble. He's 5 of 6 from the line tonight. Make that 6 of 7, and as he rattles one home. Senior day for the Blue Jays, and right now you're going to need some senior leadership from Nick Sanford and Taylor Baxter if they're going to come back. They're down 9 with 16.5 to go. Second free throw from Gamble is good to extend it to a 10-point lead. There's Taylor Baxter. He ran the point for them last year as a big 6'5" point guard, but this year Pat Coleman and Kyle Wiest have taken that load as Baxter moves over to the 3. Here goes Kyle Wiest. Tried to pass it into Nixon, but it went off his leg and back out to Wiest. Sanford drives with the right hand, and it's no good. That's going to be 4 on Jack Burchett, and that's a story to watch out for. He's going to have to come out, and they're no longer going to have that dual threat down low of Burchett and Gamble, which has been talked so much about. As we look at the last play, Burchett just can't believe it. He's laughing to himself because he knows that's a really bad 4th foul to commit. And Sanford misses the first free throw. Sanford, 80% usually true from the line, misses there. As a team in the first half, Elmhurst only 51% from the stripe, 4 of 7, as opposed to North Central, who has 7 of 7 from the line in the first half, as Sanford's second free throw is up and good. Nick Sanford has just eclipsed 1,000 total points. And there's a turnover as the fans are getting on their feet for Nick Sanford, who's now scored 1,000 points in his Elmhurst career. Congrats to Sanford. There's the lob to Nixon, and it's good. And all of a sudden, it's a 7-point game. How about that? Free throw by Sanford got the crowd to their feet because of his 1,000th point, and then the press gets to North Central, and they get 2 more. So with 16 minutes to go, it's now a 7-point advantage for the Cardinals. There's Williams, gives off to Gamble, who has a wide open lane to the bucket. Right-handed layup is good by Gamble. Taylor Baxter not happy with the defense, throws the pass a little bit harder than he usually would to Kyle Wiest. Will Nixon on the elbow. He's trying to get back inside to post up. Baxter denied by Hahn, and they'll bring it back out with 17 to shoot. Coleman looks to Sanford on the top of the key. And here's Wiest on the right elbow. Wiest over to Baxter on the left elbow. Baxter driving, right-handed layup is good. Drove with his left hand, switched to the right hand, driving off the glass and one. We'll watch that once again as Baxter got by Hahn, got bumped and laid it in. Taylor Baxter, the senior, who said his favorite arena he's ever played in when he was at North Dakota State his freshman year. He got to go to Oregon and play at the University of Oregon's arena with the tree painted on the court. He said it was one of the coolest experiences he's ever had. As he knocks in the next free throw, and it's a 6-point game. The press slowing down the game a little bit, but speeding up North Central, which is exactly what head coach John Baines has been looking for. They forced a couple turnovers. Watch out for Pat Rourke there on the arm check. He pushed off, but no foul called. Gamble backs down Nixon. Up and under is good. Nice move by Gamble. Landon Gamble is just dominating this game. That's 27 points. Landon Gamble having himself a day. Bryant Ackerman. Nathan Rogers with the drive, and that's a foul on Gamble as Nathan Rogers got the step on the switch. He switched Gamble to Rogers, then he got a step on him and was able to go to the lane, as we'll watch here. Gamble on the smaller Rogers. Rogers too quick for Gamble to get by him, and then Gamble can't quite pin the block and instead gets an elbow as Elmhurst misses another free throw. That's going to be a story if they lose this game closely, as Elmhurst is just shooting 55% from the line thus far. Rogers' second free throw is no good, just off. Rebound is to Williams. And that's going to hurt the Blue Jays if they continue to miss free throws. That's only 50%, 6 of 12 from the stripe. Gamble with the ball, hands off to Kamike. Kamike over to Williams. Williams near side, dribbling to his right, that's Hahn. Gamble down low, double team by Sanford and Payak. Looking for the open shot off the double team, and they found it in Hahn. Great look by Williams, who looked like he had a shot on the baseline, but Hahn was more wide open on the other side of the basket. Swung it to him, and Hahn lifted the baseline shot in. 10-point North Central lead. 14 minutes left. This is Bryant Ackerman from downtown, no good. Rebound to Kamike. Baxter trying to cheer on his team. Final game for him of his college career. Brandon Williams holding at the top of the key. Far away from the basket, that's Tyler Sutton. Now Vince Kamike dribbling to his left back towards the top of the key, and then swung to the left baseline to Hahn. Kicked by Sanford, and that'll be out of bounds ball to North Central. Sanford and Coleman go out in lieu of Peyton Wyatt and Kenny Payak. This is Kevin Hahn driving right baseline. Nixon's got him bottled up, so he skipped past to Williams. Williams pulls up with one on the shot clock, is no good. Rebound scrambled for and got by Gamble. Timeout, North Central, as Gamble had some great hustle to get that rebound. It's a 30-second timeout. As we look, Gamble has shot 15 of the shots by North Central. Shot almost half as we look at Williams. Nixon had the ball originally, then it went off of Payok's leg, and Gamble was the first one there to run it down as Nathan Rogers also attempted to dive for the ball. And then North Central got the timeout to retain possession. Gamble and Kamike have both played 26 minutes. Gamble with 27, just leading this North Central team with 27 of their 44 points. Back to the action now as Tyler Sutton will get the ball from the ref and look to throw it back to Hahn, the right elbow, left elbow. Back to Hahn, swing pass. Hahn driving right, can't get past Nixon. Hahn will spot up for three. It's short, rebound, Payonk, as he had position on Gamble. Long quarterback type pass to Nixon. He couldn't quite control it. Here's Payonk for three. No good, just short, but the follow is good by Nathan Rogers. Nice play by Nathan Rogers. He wasn't boxed out, so he flew into the lane, read the rebound, and then got the easy two while he was still in the air. Brandon Williams hands off to Kamike. Kamike dribbling towards the left baseline. Williams back at the top of the key at the free throw line. Spinning back to Kamike. Circling around to the right. Good pass to Kevin Hahn, and it's good. What a look from Vince Kamike. Hahn came on the back door, and Kamike saw him all the way. 10-point lead again for North Central. This is Will Nixon backing down Kamike. Kamike got a hand in there. He can't believe he thought he got the ball, but it was a little bit of hand, says the ref. That'll be a foul on Kamike. Just the first foul on Kamike. As we look back at that foul, and Kamike swipes to the ball there. He thought he got all ball, but it looks like he got a little bit of his Nixon's right hand, and Nixon will shoot 2. With Nixon's first free throw is good. Nixon to take his second free throw. It is good. 2 for 2 for Nixon from the stripe, and he'll come out as he's replaced by Nick Sanford. 46-38 North Central, 12 minutes to go in the ballgame. Blue Jays starting to put a little pressure on, trying to force some turnovers out of the Cardinals, but Brandon Williams looks sure-handed as he drives to his right. Now drives back to his left, pulls up, and it's good. Nice drive by Brandon Williams as he switched. He drove to the right, then switched to his left hand, drove left, and got the basket to fall. This is Kenny Payonk holding, handing off to Nathan Rogers. Rogers could have pulled up for the 3, but didn't see it. Kamike with the quick hands, almost stole the ball. This is Peyton Wyatt. He hits a 3. Peyton Wyatt for 3. That cuts the deficit to 7 as here comes the Elmhurst press once again. They're really just trying to make it more difficult on Williams to get it up the floor, although he doesn't seem to be having much trouble. Williams gives it to Gamble at the right elbow. Hands off to Kamike. Gamble trying to back down Payonk, but they double team him. Kamike pulls up for 3. It's no good. Williams got a hand on the rebound, but couldn't keep it. And then a blocking foul on Tyler Sutton as he tried to get position on Brian Ackerman, but couldn't quite do it. As we watch the replay, you can see that Sutton tried to gain position, but tried to slip himself a little bit to the left to get in the way of Ackerman, who avoided him well. Nick Sanford outside, dribbling. Kamike's all over that. Oh, and they call a late foul. I think they saw it was going to be a backcourt violation and instead called the foul on Kamek. It's his second foul. Kamek couldn't believe it because they called it so late. But it is what it is, and Peyton Wyatt gets the ball back for the Blue Jays as Kamek wants to show the refs, hey, I'm all over him. Nick Sanford driving to his right, lays it up and in, and all of a sudden it's a 5-point North Central lead. Great play by Sanford to cut that lead to 5. Brandon Williams trying to set up the offense. Gamble way out from his usual place in the post. He'll get in there now. Here comes Gamble trying to post up. Instead it's to Williams. Williams with the drive. Layup is no good. In and out, halfway down the cylinder. Didn't get to the fall, but there's a foul. Foul will be on Kenny Payonk, his second, and the team's 6th. Brandon Williams will go to the free throw line. The senior playing in his final college contest, averaging 7.2 points per game. As you see the drive almost halfway down the cylinder, he couldn't believe it didn't fall. Here goes Peyton Wyatt for 3. Yes, Peyton Wyatt with the answer. That's a big 3, and it cuts the North Central lead to 4. Peyton Wyatt has caught fire, and John Baines has always said he's willing to rotate 10 to 12 players. It's whoever's playing the best at that time. Against Milliken the other day when they won in overtime, it was 3 bench players along with 2 starters that played the entire overtime period. As they're going to get Nathan Rogers for reaching in. They double-teamed Gamble, but Rogers was reaching, and that's a foul. Like I said, here's the replay really quick. You're going to see Rogers kind of almost grabbed it, kind of limited his arm from moving up, and then kind of reached in and grabbed the North on his jersey. And in contrast with North Central, Elmhurst is going to rotate a lot of players. As Peyton Wyatt almost slipped and fell there. But if Peyton Wyatt's getting hot, John Baines is going to stick with him, and he can keep giving him the ball. That's what they did against Milliken, and then they ended up with a win. As Kamek drives too short on the baseline floater, and then it's rejected out of bounds by Sanford. Sanford came from behind him. I don't even think Kamek knew he was there. And Sanford just swiped at it and knocked it out of play. As we watch it again, Kamek tries to go up the second time, and Sanford just rejects it out of play. Brandon Williams spinning, looking for the right-handed floater. There it is, and it's good. Brandon Williams with the right-handed floater. Nathan Rogers looking around, trying to find some offense. Sanford wanted to get it to Wyatt, and it's offensive foul after it looked like it got knocked out of his hands, and that's going to be 3 on Sanford if it's on him. No, that's 4. Wow, that's 4 personal fouls on Sanford. Yeah, he's still in the game. They need him right now with 9 minutes to go, but with 4 fouls, that's difficult. That's a tough decision for John Baines. I'm sure he's over there thinking about it right now. Kamek trying to slip Wiest. Gamble backing down Nixon. Foul, no basket. It was on a foul on the floor. But either way, Elmhurst has 18 fouls, and so Gamble will go to the line for 1-1. As we look at the replay, Gamble definitely got a step on the other 52, Nixon, and it wasn't enough for him to grab. He had to grab him to make sure he didn't get the easy layup, and here's the first free throw. It's good on the 1-1. 28 points for Landon Gamble, having himself an amazing afternoon. Gamble, not the leading scorer on this North Central. Actually, excuse me, not the leading scorer on this North Central team. Vince Kamek is, but Kamek only has 6. Gamble now has 29 with the second good free throw. Wiest, jump stop, passes it off. Here's Baxter on the left side. Swing it around to the right side, and Wyatt passes it to Sanford on the right baseline. Sanford looking around, gets Wiest, faked the shot from deep, and instead he got on the drive, left-handed, he got bumped by Brandon Williams. That's second on Williams and 7th team foul on North Central. So Wiest will go to the line to shoot 1-1. For North Central, that's Pat Rourke coming back in for Tyler Sutton. And it's Nathan Rogers coming back in for Nick Sanford, who will sit with his 4 fouls. Reminder that Burchett from North Central, Jack Burchett, also has 4 fouls, and he's on the bench as well. So both power forwards have 4. Kyle Wiest, 84% free throw shooter on the season, knocks down the first one. Second free throw from Wiest is good, and it's a 6-point ball game. 54-48, North Central, 8 minutes to go, and the ball. Vince Kamek. Kamek driving to his left, gets hit, passes it off to Rourke on the far side. Here's Gamble down low, backing in. Wiest tried to grab him, and it's a jump ball, and that's going to be Elmhurst basketball. Kyle Wiest, you can tell they've been doubling Gamble as much as they can, as he's got 29 points. And in doing so, they get the turnover there with the jump ball. Officials timeout. We'll look at the replay while we take a break. Kyle Wiest came over and just grabbed the ball from Gamble, who not used to being double teamed, as he's been really for the majority of the second half. But he didn't see Wiest coming, and Wiest just grabbed the ball, and that led to a jump ball situation. 6-point North Central advantage. Elmhurst trying to cut into it with this possession. Wyatt swings it to Rogers on the right side. Rogers looking into Nixon, and he got fouled, it looks like, by Hahn. Yep, That's Kevin Hahn. That's his third. Here we go. Rogers driving in. Tries to get it. Hahn almost had the steal there, but I think he pushed off on Nixon to get position, and that's where the foul came from. 1-1 for the Blue Jays. Big free throws for Will Nixon. Nixon knocks down the first one, no problem. Nixon, 5 of 6 from the stripe on the night. 5 of 5 from the field. He's only missed 1 shot on the day thus far. That was a free throw. As Jack Burchett with his 4 fouls is set to check in. Nixon, 7 of 8 from the stripe now. Burchett will replace Hahn. Hahn has 3 fouls. Burchett has 4. Watch out to see if Elmhurst tries to go down to Nixon against Burchett on the offensive end. Maybe draw his 5th foul. Here's Brandon Williams resetting the offense for North Central. Vince Kamek passes over to Burchett. Swing pass to Rourke. Pass down to Gamble. Gamble rolls around and in. That's what North Central loves to do. Start on the backside, swing it around to Gamble's side, give it to him down low. He's one-on-one against Nixon, and that matchup has been Gamble all afternoon. Kyle Wiest driving to his left, pulls up for the jumper. It's good. Kyle Wiest, after missing 8 of his first 10 shots, hits that one, and now he's 3 of 11 from the field with 9 points. Kyle Wiest cuts the lead to 4. Chance of defense with 6:30 to go, down 4. Elmhurst would love to get a stop right here. Burchett dribbling, gives off to Gamble. Baxter right there, all in the backdoor pass. Baxter came over to double team Gamble, and Burchett read it perfectly. Cut on the back door, and Gamble was able to find him for the easy layup. Baxter looking into Nixon, but it's into trouble. Kamek is wide open. He'll take the lay-in and 1. Taylor Baxter cannot believe it, but he fouled Vince Kamek, and Kamek will go to the line for and 1. We'll watch it here as Baxter looked like he totally whiffed on him, but he had the left hand on his back, and maybe that's what the ref saw. And that's going to be a foul as now Nixon goes out. Sanford is in now with his 4 fouls. Burchett and Sanford will battle down low, both with 4 fouls. Burchett is going out right now as you see the great pass by Gamble. Baxter comes over to help, and Burchett just goes right by him. Kamek hits his 2nd free throw. 61-52, North Central. 9-point lead with 6 minutes to go. It's a 5-0 run for the Cardinals. Kyle Wiest looking to find some offense. Drives, gets by Williams, and he's fouled. Williams wanted the clean block, but it was Wiest getting the benefit of the call, and he'll shoot 2. Here comes, you can tell Wiest gets by Williams, no problem, and then Williams looks like he got him on the right hand. And the Blue Jays call timeout before Wiest will shoot his 2. Congratulations to Nick Sanford. He now has 1,002 career points, surpassing the 1,000 mark during this game with a free throw earlier in the contest. So with a 9-point advantage for North Central. 5:49 to go. Head coach John Baines trying to turn the program around to get them to 500 in the CCIW, which would be quite a accomplishment for a team that went 2-12 last year in the conference. He brought in a great recruiting class and has been using those guys. Even so, after this year, they're going to have their core back. The 2 seniors that were majorly in the rotation, Nick Sanford and Taylor Baxter, both starters, will leave, but they have plenty of players behind them. We've seen Peyton Wyatt log some good minutes. He hit a couple threes earlier. Nathan Rogers has played minutes. He's a freshman. Tucker Harlan played earlier in the season, hasn't played much recently, but he's a freshman. We saw Pat Coleman, he's a sophomore. Wiest is a sophomore. Ackerman's a sophomore. Crittenden has played some minutes today. He's a sophomore. And Will Nixon, also a sophomore. So they'll have a lot of the core back for next season, regardless of the outcome this year. And either way, they will have outperformed the CCIW preseason coaches poll where they were tabbed 7th. They win today, they're 5th. The loser will be tabbed 6th in this contest as Kyle Wiest, 84% free throw shooter, knocks it in off a few bounces. Kyle Wiest, sophomore from Endenburg, Indiana. Second free throw is good, and Kyle Wiest has cut the lead, North Central lead, to 7 with 5:45 remaining in the ball game. On the far side, that's Rourke. Gets it up to the top of the key, and Burchett give and go with Gamble. What a great give and go between Burchett and Gamble, the two post players for North Central. Extends the lead back to 9. Wyatt cuts, maybe looking for the 3 in the corner, but Wiest decides not to give it to him. This is Payonk at the top of the key. Pass off to Wyatt, who dribbles back towards the top of the key. Baxter hit the 3, but Wiest was bumped before he could get the pass away. And so Wiest will once again go to the line to shoot 2, as that's now 10 personal fouls on North Central. It's Brandon Williams on the foul. And here's that foul as Williams just kind of bumped him on the way around. Brandon Williams, that's his 3rd personal. Wiest, usually sure-handed from the line, misses there. He's 4 of 5 now from the line, as that's his first miss on in the contest. Not having his best shooting day, 1 of 5 from 3 and 3 and 11 from the field. Peyton Wyatt looked like they might try to get him going as he hit both of his 3-point attempts, but haven't seen him take a shot in over 10 minutes. Pat Rourke taking it up. That's going to be a foul on Wiest as he ran into Gamble, who was trying to give the handoff pass, and Wiest kind of ran into him and bumped him over, and that forced the foul. As we'll see right here, he just kind of bumps into him. It was enough to move Gamble, and Gamble will go to the line to shoot 2 with 10 team fouls for the Blue Jays. First free throw is good. That is now 32 on the night for Leighton Gamble. Excuse me, Landon Gamble. Gamble's second free throw is good. He is 11 of 12 from the stripe. Just an outstanding day for Landon Gamble. 11 of 16 from the field, 33 points. To go along with 8 rebounds and 3 assists. I mean, himself a game. Kyle Wiest on the far side, dribbling, looking in for Sanford. Sanford against Burchett. Both have 4 fouls. Burchett's careful not to get his 4th. Rourke saves it to Kamek. Great jumping save from Pat Rourke, and he'll be able to walk it up the floor for North Central, leading by 10 with 4.5 to go. North Central going to try to milk some clock here. 20 on the shot clock. This is Gamble. Let's see if they try to swing it around and set him up. Nope, they're just going to set him up on the far side. Gamble gets double teamed, and since he's trapped, he'll throw it off of Payonk. 10 on the shot clock. 4 minutes left in the game for the Cardinals. Will Nixon and Nathan Rogers in to replace Kenny Payonk and Kyle Wiest. North Central calling a play as it's Gamble who will throw it in. Gamble gives it off to Hahn. Hahn looking to set up the post. Nixon needs to get his hands up. And Gamble stepped on the baseline, and that'll be Elmhurst basketball. North Central head coach Todd Reardon looking for a bump, but he did not get it. You see head coach John Baines. In his first year at the helm, he helped transform the St. Francis program into a winner by using some discipline. Came here, the players were already disciplined, but as Baxter takes up, hits a three. Taylor Baxter. And that's a big three as that cuts the lead to 7. Back to John Baines. He helps offset some of the youth and the inconsistency by really focusing on playing the players that are hitting their shots that day, playing the best that day. It's not about which team's the best, which players are the best. It's about who's playing the best on that day. As Gamble is double teamed, pass out to Williams. Williams into the lane, drives, and the floater is good. That extends the North Central lead to 9 as Elmhurst has about 3:20 to get some offense going here. Baxter driving, using the added confidence he gets from practices here with the Blue Jays. He'll go to the line for 2. Taylor Baxter, one of the seniors. As we watch the replay of his drive, Taylor, head coach John Baines says he's a really talented player, great player, was recruited to play Division I at North Dakota State. And what happened, he just doesn't seem to always have the confidence he needs, and he's got to take the shot when he's got it, and that's what head coach John Baines has told me yesterday. And so now with the added confidence, we saw him just hit a 3. Maybe that 3 and these couple free throws will give him confidence he needs to finish off this 3-13 strong for the Blue Jays. He hits the first free throw. As that gives him 10 points on the night. Double figures for Baxter, joining Will Nixon, who has 16. Second free throw is good, and it's again a 7-point advantage as the Blue Jays will go to a full court press. Let's see if they try to trap. No, Brandon Williams too quick for Nathan Rogers. Rogers, the freshman, against the senior in Williams. Elmhurst crowd chanting defense as they know this is a critical defensive possession for the Blue Jays. 3 minutes to go. Burchett drives the lane, and that's going to be a foul. That looks like it could be. And Burchett is down. Sanford's down. Burchett looks to be clutching his leg. We'll see if he's okay. No, he seems okay. We'll look at that replay as Burchett had an open lane to drive, and that's the 5th foul on Sanford. Sanford's going to leave the game. He finishes with 5 points, 2 rebounds, and a standing ovation from the Elmhurst College crowd. What a career it's been for Nick Sanford. He's a 4-year letter winner with the Blue Jays, played in 85 career games, including starting his last 74 games over the last 4 seasons. 3rd team All-CCIW last year as Burchett hits his first free throw. He's 2nd on the team in scoring, leading the team in rebounding, one of the best rebounders in the CCIW. He just eclipsed the 1,000-point mark as Burchett misses his 2nd jump shot free throw. He ranks 8th in career rebounds with Elmhurst. Congrats on a great career to Nick Sanford. Now we'll see if the Blue Jays can send him out in style with a win. 8-point deficit, 2:40 to go. Taylor Baxter, the other starting senior, honored today. Kyle Weiss, jump shot is good in the lane. And John Baines will call a full timeout. Like we said, what a great career for Nick Sanford, and what a great game to come out and eclipse the 1,000-point mark, even though he only had 5 points. Elmhurst right in this game, 6-point deficit with 2:31 to go, as we see Weiss hesitation jump shot. And Coach John Baines calls a timeout. Again, close games have been the Blue Jays' forte this year. Blue Jays 7-2 in games decided by 5 points or less, 12-4 decided in games decided by 10 points or less. And head coach John Baines has really focused on that this year. You can tell he really wants to adapt his coaching style to the players he has, because he knew this team was going to play a lot of close games this year. They may not be the best team in the CCIW, the most talented. He's going to get the most out of each of his players, and especially with record-wise. And the way he did that was practicing close game situations during practice. What he does is he gives each assistant coach a team so they can hear a different voice, and he'll give out a situation. 40 seconds to go, down 2. and then they'll have them play it out, and that's really paid dividends with their fantastic record in games decided by 5 and 5 points or less, or decided by single digits. This is going to be another one of those games decided by single digits. We'll see if the Blue Jays can come back. They've been trailing for most of the second half. And their 8-win improvement from last year, they've had an 8-win improvement over last season. They have 14 wins this year, and they had 6 wins last year, and much of that could be the wins in close games. They haven't lost a game decided by 5 points or less since the first weekend of the season when they lost 2 straight on the road in Missouri. So here we go, 2:20 to go. North Central looking to milk some clock, down up by 6. This is Pat Rourke handling the ball near the midline. Vince Kamek swings it over to Williams, back over to Rourke. He has the 3 but won't take it. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Tyler Sutton will put up a 3 and he got it. Tyler Sutton with a huge basket to extend the North Central lead to 9 as Weiss drives down the right side, missed it, and Kamek is outrunning. Kamek outrunning, but he'll pull it out. Tyler Sutton calls for it, and he'll pull it out. Now with a minute 42 left and a 9-point lead, North Central's feeling comfortable, and Nathan Rogers will have to foul. Here comes that 3-pointer as Rourke finds Sutton. Tyler Sutton hitting the 3, and that could be the dagger. That's Tyler Sutton's second 3 of the ball game. He shot 3 shots from outside, and he's made 2 of them. Burchett back in for North Central. And he'll replace Kamek on the block. Brandon Williams fouled, and he'll shoot 2 with the 10, the double bonus. All right, shoots 1 and 1. And the rebound is to Wiest. Wiest will push. Wiest trying to go back to the lane. Same shot he just missed a second ago, and he's fouled. I don't know if you want to foul there if you're North Central, but that's what it is, and it's a blocking foul. This one is, we're still waiting on the signal as to who it'll go on. That is Gamble with the blocking foul, as Wiest just missed the right-handed runner. Wiest to the free throw line, needing both of them. He's got one of them. Kyle Wiest cuts the lead to 9. Kyle Wiest hits the second to cut it to an 8-point advantage with a minute 33 to go. You got to think Elmhurst has to foul here. And Nathan Rogers looked like he was going to foul. There's a trap, and that's going to be a steal. Wiest goes up, and he hits a 2. All of a sudden, it's a 6-point game, and with a minute and 23 left and counting. Again, a trap. Gamble gets it out this time to Williams. Now it's a 3-on-2. Williams is going to get fouled by Wiest, and Williams will go back to the line. Williams, not one of the top free throw shooters for North Central, although he's a solid 3 of 4. Here's that steal as Payonk playing some great defense, forcing Williams to go out of bounds, trying to get it to Gamble, but Wiest was right there. And Wiest fired up as that cut it to a 6-point advantage. Kyle Wiest will come out of the ball game, as that is his 5th personal foul, and that's it for Wiest as well. Wiest, a sophomore, not happy hitting the tarp over there, but he'll be back again next year, and he'll definitely be one of the leading scorers next year, you had to assume. As Williams' first free throw is good. Williams has been money from the line today, although he's not one of the top free throw shooters on this North Central team. He's 4 of 5 on the night. Make that 5 of 6. 15 points for Williams, and here comes Elmhurst looking to push with a minute 13 to go. Rogers trying to drive, double teamed, puts it up, just missed. The and one is somehow he got that shot over Gamble, who's got a 5-inch height advantage on the shorter Rogers, and the freshman will go to the line as we look to see how exactly he got that shot over Gamble. He got Gamble in the air, and that's how he got the foul. He got both of his defenders in the air. And Rogers hits the first free throw And it's a 7-point game. Burchett will go out. He still has 4 personal fouls along with Williams. Again, Sanford and Wiest both have fouled out for the Blue Jays. Here comes Brian Ackerman coming in to bring some. You got to think this is going to be just some speed, and they don't want Nixon to pick up another foul. They trap, and Baxter's got a steal. The senior Baxter's got the steal, and there's the handoff to Wyatt, and Wyatt has made all 3 of his shots today. That's a huge steal for Taylor Baxter. And there's a timeout by North Central, as now it's all of a sudden a 4-point game with just under a minute left. Holy cow. Look at this great steal right here on the replay. Taylor Baxter got a hand on it with those long arms, shoveled it to Wyatt, who was under the basket waiting for the layup. And all of a sudden, those late game situations that Elmhurst practiced so much in practice may just come to fruition right here. Remember, they're 7-2 in games decided by 5 points or less and haven't lost a game decided by 5 points or less since November. So let's reset it for you, all you fans at home. 4-point game, just under a minute to go. Both teams in the double bonus. North Central will inbound the ball in the backcourt. Elmhurst has already forced 2 turnovers in the last few minutes. Will Nixon was taken out of the game there in lieu of Brian Ackerman, and it was Taylor Baxter who got the steal. What a great game this is turning out to be, as Elmhurst has trailed pretty much this entire second half. And really, the entire game. The last lead for Elmhurst was 12:05 to go in the first half. Now it's a 4-point game. Gamble will not be able to run the floor as they call the timeout. They're going to have to inbound it on the side, and the pass into Kamek. Kamek running away from the Elmhurst defense, and there's going to be the foul. It's going to be on Nathan Rogers as he almost got the steal. That's going to be Nathan Rogers on the foul, and that's going to be his 4th. And so it's Vince Kamek, the leading free throw shooter for North Central. He's the guy you want it in his hands on the line. Vince Kamek has shot 81% for the season, but he misses the front end. Wow. 4-point game. Burchett and Nixon back in for offense for Elmhurst, and defense Burchett for North Central. Kamek's second free throw, as the crowd's making some noise, but he makes the second one. 5-point game. Elmhurst probably looking for the quick 2 here, but North Central will press to make sure they can't throw the ball at the floor. This is Rogers, the freshman. Rogers dribbling to his right, looking in for Nixon, gets it inside, mismatch, and it's a block by Burchett. What a play. What a play by Jack Burchett, and there's a foul. Wow. Will Nixon tried to go to the step back bunny hook shot, and Burchett was there as the secondary defender to knock it away. Burchett hasn't played much of this game. He's got 4 fouls, but he's only played 16 minutes in the contest, only scored 5 points, but no play was bigger than that one block. And now Landon Gamble to the line. He's been spot on tonight, but he misses that one. And he's now 11 of 13 from the stripe. Peyton Wyatt will check back in, we assume, for his 3-point prowess, as he is 2 of 2 from 3-point tonight. Landon Gamble's second free throw is no good. Rebound to Nixon. 5-point game with 40 seconds to go. Elmhurst will force it up the floor with Taylor Baxter. Baxter driving to his right, looking for an open shot, doesn't have it. It'll be Nathan Rogers for 3. He got it! Nathan Rogers for 3, cuts it to a 2-point ball game with 31 seconds to go. What a comeback by the Blue Jays. 2-point game, 31 seconds to go. North Central will inbound the ball after the timeout. North Central is led by double digits in this half. As we look at the entirety of the last play, the quick pass up to Taylor Baxter. He tried to drive to his right. He was double teamed, leaving Rogers open. Gamble got a hand in his face, but it was Rogers who hit the 3, a freshman. from North Crawfordsville, Indiana on Senior Day. Trying to bring the seniors out in style with the win and bring the Blue Jays to 7-7 in CCIW play. It would be a 5-game swing from last year in just the first year of head coach John Baines' tenure. What a job he's done with this Blue Jay team, especially in these close game situations. And the crowd, this large crowd here at RA Fayetteville Hall is into it, and Wyatt almost got a steal. He dove for it, but couldn't quite get it. They got a foul now. Wow, there's another timeout by North Central before the foul. Wow, Wyatt dove for that ball. Had a hand on it, almost got it, tried to save it, ended up saving it right back to a North Central player. Holy cow, this is getting to be one heck of a finish. Here comes that replay as Wyatt dove for the ball. And it was a smart play as he would have gone out of bounds with it. Maybe it would have been a smart play to let it go out of bounds, so they had to force North Central to inbound it in the corner. Either way, they're going to have to inbound it in the corner. Wow, what a game it's been. And what a play by Peyton Wyatt, although he saved it right back to a North Central player. So they're going to put Gamble in. Gamble's going to try to inbound it. The bigger Nixon with his wingspan is going to try to deny the passes. It's going to be a quarterback pass to Kamek, and Wyatt almost got the steal but didn't get it, and Kamek has a wide open lane to the basket and one. Ackerman is going to be called for a foul. He can't believe it. The crowd can't believe it. As we got some big boos coming from the crowd, but that's the call, and Ackerman's going to be called for the foul. And here's the play as Wyatt dove for the interception, couldn't do it. I don't know if Ackerman actually even touched Kamek on the way up, but Kamek's going to go to the line to extend this lead to 5 with 22 seconds to go. It was a quarterback pass from Gamble that set up Kamek. A is true from the line, and there's a 5-point game. North Central will press so that the Elmhurst can't run up the floor easily. Nathan Rogers driving into the lane. Right-handed floater is no good. It's going to go off of the head of Nathan Rogers, and it's going to be North Central basketball with 15 seconds to go. A close game situation, not going the Blue Jays' way so far. We'll see if they can force another turnover, as they forced many in the backcourt late in this game. As we'll see, the ball goes off of the head of Nathan Rogers. You can see the referee, he saw it immediately as he taps his head there. It was indeed off of Nathan Rogers' head, and now they're going to try to force a turnover here, and pretty much their only hope, down 5 with 15 seconds to go. They got to foul him right now. Got to foul him, and Baxter does foul. Taylor Baxter, that is his 4th personal. They couldn't get the steal, and it looks like Williams will have 2 free throws to pretty much ice the game. 13 seconds left. North Central with a 5-point lead. Williams of North Central will have 2 free throws as some fans start to head for the exits. He will be shooting 2. There's his first. 6-point game, and you can guess that this the second free throw to make it a 7-point game would pretty much ice it for North Central. Ackerman will come in for his 3-point shooting, replacing Will Nixon. Williams with a free throw to ice it. He got it. 7-point lead. We'll see. Rogers probably going to shoot a 3 right here. We'll see if he can get it. Shoot it up. It's going to be Ackerman shooting a 3. He got it. 4-point game. 6 seconds to go, and Elmhurst has a little bit more fight left in him. The Blue Jays on Senior Day will not go down without a fight. 6.6 seconds to go. Here's the replay. Rogers behind the back, passes it off to Ackerman, who's open somehow for 3. I can't believe they left him open. And Ackerman hit it, but it might be just a little too late. 4-point game. 6.6 remaining. Full timeout here. North Central will be able to run the floor on the inbound. Will Nixon is already there. Chatting with the ref, waiting for North Central's inbounder to get over there. We assume it'll be Gamble again. He threw the quarterback pass to Quebec, which ended up making it a 5-point game. Both teams in the full bonus. Possession arrow favors North Central. Leaders for North Central, I mean, it's been the Landon Gamble show. 33 points. 11 of 16 from the field, 11 of 14 from the stripe. What a game it's been for Landon Gamble. Brandon Williams and Vince Kamek have added on 17 and 13 respectively. Here comes the inbound. Gamble to inbound it. He can run the floor. He's going to get off to Rourke. Rourke's going to get it up for Sutton, and that's going to do it. 3 seconds with 2 seconds. Elmhurst will not foul, and that is your ball game. Final score, North Central 80, Elmhurst 76. Let's go through some more stats. As I just mentioned, Landon Gamble with quite a game. 1 rebound away from a triple-double, or double-double, excuse me. 33 and 9 rebounds. Brandon Williams added 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Vince Kamek, 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. As for the Blue Jays, Kyle Wiest had 18 points. Most of his points came late in the game, a lot of them on free throws as he shot 5 of 14 from the field. Taylor Baxter at 11. Will Nixon shot 5 of 6 from the field and 6 of 7 from the stripe for 16 points. And also in double digits, Taylor Baxter, he had 11. Elmhurst really struggled in the first half, and that showed at the end as it became a 4-point lead. We want to thank you for watching Blue Jay TV all season long. This is the end of men's basketball and the winter season on BlueJayTV.com. For our executive producer, Kevin Jude, director, Ken Liljeberg, camera operators, Phil Petrosic and Greg Rofer, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Luke Tanaka. And so long from R.A. Fagnall Hall. Your final score, North Central 80, Elmhurst 76.